So we're going to go through a few things today, and you can follow along accordingly. But this is really the breakdown of how do I build a brand? How do I sell it? And then what do I understand about myself in accomplishing this in the way that I want to? One of the biggest things that I think is part of the process in understanding, um, in essence, why you're building a brand is the why. And I believe deeply, intrinsically, that the why, your cause and your belief and the purpose is the thing that will actually develop your brand as something that is valuable. One of the biggest things that I understood during this time of building brands was timing. Timing's everything. And assessing and doing the background research about why something could work and how it will work is so very important. It's basically building the pieces and the principles for your business case. It's the dynamics that will allow you to see the pillars for your business and build off those. And I think one of the things, right? It's about leading from authenticity. Sales come from authentic relational cultivation, right? So here's some first steps that are really interesting, right? Amazing. Listening. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody and you're like, you're not even listening to me. This is like, what are you doing? So the second is believing. You must learn to be credible in order to encourage others to not only listen to you, but to have faith in what you say. So when you prove yourself to be someone who is present and actually does what you say you're going to do, unbelievable. You're literally going to set yourself apart from so many people. Legacy versus growth. Don't be obsessed with growth, but instead be compelled by longevity. Growth in the end is like short term, but I think that the better mentality about creating a more robust business lies in legacy creation versus purely growth. Because going back to some of the other points, if it's just growth, that means that you can throw off people relationally. You didn't do the job as well enough. You didn't do what I needed to do, whatever it may be. So you're not worthwhile. Or you can throw off and you can be flippant with your relationships and not care about that factor, not cultivate. And thus, when your short-term growth obsession ends with some form of profit or even some form of disaster, you are left in a place where you have squandered your relationships and your focus was on the wrong thing. First, you got to know yourself. Do you know yourself? Do you know your strengths? If I came to you and I said, hey, Steve, tell me your strengths, what would you rattle off to me right away? I'm great at X. That's an important thing. So know your strengths, okay? Here's how do you find your strengths? Ask a friend. You'll find clues in your attempts and your failures. Analyze your successes. What did I do well in and how did I do it? Maintain a hold on your identity, right? You're not driven or known by your successes or your failures. You ever see people go like this based on that? They're always tied to the success or they're tied to the failure. Understand that you can separate the two. It's fine. Your identity is not in what you do. It's who you are. Now we're going to get into the 4 pillars of what makes a valuable brand possible. Most important, I believe that a compelling product is part of the mandatory thing you have to build. You have to have a narrative. Obviously, we've had a couple of preemptive things about this during this presentation. I think you get it. A story that matters. Build your narrative. Okay. Infrastructure. Don't just create, execute, and ship. Fashion is a beautiful thing, right? Brands are a beautiful thing. You build an amazing product that you're compelled by, that you love, that people enjoy wearing, like all these factors. But if you can't get it to the store on time, you have no business. Here's the thing, be likable. This is another factor. So convergent product, strong narrative, build infrastructure, be likable. Those are the 4 pillars. Those things consistently have always given the ability of any project that I have been in to work successfully. As long as things are developed on all 4 of those factors, the pillars are there to create the foundation for a brand that works.